Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Evelyn of Pink Sheep Design, and today I'm really excited to talk all about yarn for crop tops. So I have 4 crop top patterns in my Etsy shop. 2 of them are older and they call for a 4-weight yarn. So I used to use a lot of this Lily Sugar and Cream to make my crop tops. It's super easy to find, but I also found that I don't like using, if you guys have been following me for a while, I don't use tiny hooks. I like to use larger hooks for my projects. And when I used a 5.5 millimeter hook with this yarn, it left it a little holey, and for some people that's an issue. You want your crop tops to have a really tight stitch, and I really didn't want to go any smaller on my hook size, so I decided to try and make some crop tops that called for a 5-weight yarn. So there's 2 size inclusive beginner friendly crop tops in my Etsy shop. One is called the Phoebe crop top, the other one is called the Nancy, and I have made these crop tops. I've actually got a ton of them here to show you in a bunch of different 5-weight yarns. And I kind of wanted to give you guys a little review on them so you guys can know not only how they feel to work with, but how they feel on and how they hold up to washing, because that's super important for me. If I'm going to make myself a crochet wearable that I'm going to wear a lot, I really need it to be machine washable and dryer friendly. So the one that I'm wearing right now, this is a Nancy crop top. And the one that I'm wearing right now is in what is called Lion Brand Dreammaker. Now I'll show you that, but this is a discontinued yarn. You may still be able to find some floating around out there. This is what it looks like. It comes in beautiful colors, and it is a cotton it's a acrylic nylon blend, not cotton. This one is acrylic and nylon, 74% acrylic, 26% nylon. I'm really sad that they discontinued this, because this by far continues to be my favorite yarn to use to make crop tops. It's the one that I'm wearing, and it is this one right here. So this is one of my Nancy crop tops made with Dreammaker. What's really great about Dreammaker is that it softens up with wash, but it doesn't soften up so much as to start falling apart or stretching out. So this one has probably been washed at least 10 times. And you can see the stitching is still beautiful. It's holding up. It's not stretching out to where you've got holes coming in through it. Now, if you make it with Dreammaker, I had someone who used Dreammaker and said it's not super soft. They hadn't washed it yet. It softens up after the first wash. So I made mine. I tried to wear it the first day. It was a little too stiff. Threw it in the washing machine, threw it in the dryer. I usually do like a medium to low heat with these. They do perfectly fine. I don't have to lay them flat to dry. I don't use fabric softener. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I don't use it. But this holds up so well. I love working with it. It's not splitty because it is a tubular style yarn, so it's not plied like some yarn where it can split. It is actually a tube. There you go. And it's got polyfill on the inside of the tube. So it holds up really well, and it's not going to be splitty to work with. It's easy to work with for me. It's pretty lightweight, and it is definitely a true size 5. So these work up really well. So that's my #1 recommendation for mine, even though it's discontinued. If you can find some, grab some. It's worth trying it out if you can. So the yarn that I recommend in my patterns, because I didn't want to recommend something that was discontinued, is Bernat Home Deck yarn. So I don't think I have any that still has the label on it, but this is what it looks like on the skein. So you can see that. It is very similar to Lion Brand Dreammaker in that it is a tubular yarn, but this is a cotton nylon blend. I believe it's cotton nylon. It's got cotton, whereas this has acrylic. So it's going to be a little bit more breathable. It is the teeniest bit smaller in diameter than the Dreammaker. So my Dreammaker yarn crop top, let's see where I put it. Here it is. It actually worked up a little smaller than my other crop top because I used the same tension, but the yarn was a little smaller. So you can see this is my Dreammaker version. And I still love the color combinations. You can find a lot of different colors. I meant in Dreammaker Home Deck, there's a lot of color options to choose from, so you can still make some very fun colored crop tops with Bernat Home Deck. And again, I machine wash these. I haven't had any color bleed. Same with the Dreammaker, no color bleed. I wash them on delicate and I dry them on low to medium heat. I do not have to lay them flat to dry. It's holding up very well to washing. I actually have a really old one. I say really old, but this one has been washed a whole lot more. Probably I'd say 30 to 40 times this has been washed. And look how great it looks. There's not really fading or anything. There's not spots that have started to come undone. It holds up really, really well. And this is a great, so the Nancy crop top, this is the Nancy. It has the option for you to make thick straps. So let's see if it'll show that. I don't want it to focus on me, focus on the top. There we go. So you can see these thick straps so that over the shoulder, the strap is thicker, and then you make it smaller to fit through the back because the back is not a halter top. It is crisscrossed like this. So that's a great option. I know a lot of people had asked me about the teeny tiny straps. I'm smaller chested, so I can get away with the smaller straps. It doesn't bother me, but a lot of people need more support. So that's a great option for the Nancy bralette. All right, so that's Dreammaker Home Deck. Fantastic option, very wash and wear friendly. Also softens up with use and with wear and with washing. So love those two. So top two options, Dreammaker by Lion Brand, sadly discontinued, but you can still find some if you look around out there. And then Dreammaker Home Deck, which is available in a lot of different places, and you get a ton of yarn. I think you get like 300 plus yards in one skein. So I think it's $12 to $14 for a skein, but no matter what size you're making in my crop tops, you should be able to get one out of this, if not two. So I make one of the smallest sizes so I can get two out of one skein of this yarn. Next up that I actually really love, and it's a new yarn that came out this year by Premier, and that is, where did I put it? Here it is. I still had one with a label. So this is Cotton Fair Bulky, and it is a 5-weight yarn by Premier. This is not a tubular structure. This is a plied yarn. It actually has a lot of strands. So immediately, my first, let's see if it'll, my first initial thoughts on working with this yarn is it's quite splitty. So that was my biggest negative with this yarn. If you hate working with splitty yarn, this one might not be the right fit for you, but if you don't mind, it makes a beautiful top. It's soft. This is cotton. I think it's in a cotton acrylic. Yes, it's about 50-50. 52 cotton, 48 acrylic, 153 yards. So again, I made both. So this is one of my Phoebe crop tops. That's what that looks like. This is the Phoebe crop top. I made it with one skein of the Cotton Fair Bulky in pink. And this is the Nancy, which I also made using one skein. Now they have less yardage on the variegated colors like this, but I was still able to complete a full Nancy in a size extra small with one skein of the variegated Cotton Fair Bulky. Thoughts on this? I do feel like the single color that I made softened up more than the variegated, which was interesting. And I don't know if I continue to wash this, if it will get softer. It's not rough on my skin. It's still very, very comfortable to wear. But this is definitely softer. So I'm interested to see, since this is single colored, if it will be as soft as this one, and if I buy another multicolor, if it will be less soft. But these have both been washed. Again, easy to wash and wear, machine washable and dryable. Even if it doesn't say it, that's what I do. So all of these have been machine washed and dried. Again, I usually use delicate cycle. I don't put them in anything. I will tell you one tip. So I will pull these longer, so this ends are longer. And then I do one of those knots. So I'll cross this, pull this through, but I won't pull it through all the way. So I make like a slip knot. So you can see slip knot. I make sure that's pretty tight. And that's how I wash them, just so that the two separate cords are held together. I haven't tried just doing like a bow, but that's how I wash mine. So I wash them on delicate, dry them on low to medium heat, and they've done really well. I will say for wear, this is not as stretchy. So there's not a lot of stretch to this. You can tell that it feels like there's more cotton. I know there's not, but there's not any nylon content to this. Whereas Maker Home Deck has some nylon, has some stretchiness to it, and Dreammaker has some stretchiness to it. So these are not gonna feel, they're gonna feel stiffer. Even if they're soft, they're gonna feel stiffer to wear. Now I still wear them, they're comfortable, but I would not consider them to be as comfortable as the ones that I made using the Home Deck or the Dreammaker. So that is Cotton Fair Bulky. And I do have to say, lots of fun colors to choose from. So that's always a plus. There's more colors to choose from in this than there would be in Bernat Maker Home Deck, and obviously in Dreammaker since that's discontinued. Okay, so the fourth one that I made using a bulky yarn is actually made of not t-shirt yarn, ribbon yarn. So one of my testers used ribbon yarn to make one of her Nancy tops, and I still have to weave in the ends. But this is a Nancy crop top made using ribbon yarn. I made it extra long on the strap so that I could tie it in the front. And I have to say, I'm on the fence. It's really cool. Like but it's very, very stiff. This is 100% cotton. I had to size down on my hook in order to make sure that it wasn't going to be oversized because the gauge was larger because the yarn it's on the thicker side of a 5. So it's very, very stiff, but it's not anywhere near being see-through. I can tell you that. And it looks really cool on, but it is more like almost a corset style because it's very stiff, you know. But I have to say, if you are larger chested and you really need that structure to hold them in place, this might be an option for you. I had a few people who used multiple strands of a 4-weight cotton, and they said it's stiff, but it holds everything in place. It doesn't have the stretch to allow your chest to stretch out the top and like sag. I mean, because that's been an issue too. If people use acrylic yarn and you're larger chested, it's not gonna hold them in place. Like it's gonna let your chest droop a little bit. And so this might be a good option if you really want to rein everything in and keep everything in place. So it did not soften up in the wash. I was kind of hopeful because it felt so stiff that if I washed it, that it would soften up a little bit. Now I've only washed it once. I am going to continue to wear it and wash it, and it may soften up over time, but I think some of it is more to do with the fact that the stitching is so tight on this one. I think I used a 5mm instead of a 5.5mm hook, and it was enough to make a big difference to where it's quite stiff. So I'm on the fence. It's worth a try. If you have some ribbon yarn and you want a really, really structured top, then this might be worth trying to make with ribbon yarn. I don't know if I'll make another one, but I do like that I have this one. It's cool to see it in all of these different yarn types. I did want to share one more that I made that is not using a 5-weight, because a lot of my testers used smaller weight yarn and held multiple strands together. And one of the ones I heard the most was Kobu. So this is Lion brand Kobu, which is a bamboo cotton blend. And let me see if I have... Okay, I still had one of these, so I can show you what it looks like. This is Kobu. It is, you get 232 yards, and it is a cotton blend with rayon from bamboo. So cotton and rayon, 51% cotton, 49% rayon. It's very, very soft. So a lot of people were using this, but this is a 3-weight yarn. This is a light 3-weight yarn. And so people were triple stranding it for their test, but they said they loved how it felt. So I said, I'm gonna have to try this. So I bought 3 of these because you get 232 yards. I'm triple stranding it. I could just buy 3, use those. This is what's left in all 3. So I still actually have plenty. I don't think I could make a whole nother one, but I could do something with this to hold 3-weight. This is what it looks like. I'll show you guys. That's what it looks like. This is a beautiful shiny yarn. So it's got this sheen to it that's very, very pretty. It's very silky soft. I do have to say, when I got finished with it, it feels really thick. And I was like, this is probably not gonna feel that great. It's so thick, you know? But when it's on, it's actually quite breathable, and I think it's because it's the cotton rayon blend. So it's not an acrylic blend or an acrylic nylon. And I thought the thickness was going to bother me, but I've worn it a couple of times, and I actually really like the way that it feels on. So that is an option. If you don't want to use 5-weight yarn, you could use something like a Kobu or a Truboo. Anything that's got a cotton blended with something else like a rayon or a nylon. That's going to be a really nice mix to give you a little bit of give, because even this one, it's got stretch to it. So you want that. You want to feel like when you are breathing in and out, you're not being suffocated. You know, if your yarn has no give and you go to fill your lungs up with air, it's going to feel pressure because you're wearing something that's tight and does not have the give. So this is great because it's got some give to it. I think I've washed this. I can't remember. I believe that I've washed it. But it says machine washable and dryable. So if I have washed it and dried it, it's very soft right now. So like I said, I can't remember if I washed it and it got softer. But this is really nice. So this is a really nice feel. So triple stranding Kobu or even Truboo, which I have not done yet, but I have some. I bought some Truboo so I can try to triple strand the Truboo. So I'll have one in Kobu and one in Truboo, and I can see what the difference feels like. But that's really it. So we've got Dreammaker here. This is my Dreammaker top pick. I have, I think 6 of these now in different colors. So this one I think is the one that I'm wearing. Yes, so this is like the purple and blue and teal, which this one, and then this one. And then I've got next favorite pick is Dreammaker Home Deck, which is this one, but keep in mind it might work up a little bit smaller. This yarn is a little bit smaller in diameter than the Dreammaker. So this top is a teeny bit smaller. She could maybe size up. If you're gonna keep the same gauge, you could size up if you're making the Nancy. And then same thing with the Cotton Fair Bulky. It is going to work up a little bit smaller than say a Dreammaker, but it should work up the same as the Home Deck. So that was this one for my Nancy crop top and this one for my Phoebe crop top. Both of these were made using Cotton Fair Bulky. Again, this one's a cotton acrylic blend. It also does not have quite as much stretch, but it's got more stretch than the ribbon yarn. So that was the last one that I made. This is Hobie 100% cotton ribbon yarn. It's fun. It's a fun one, and like I said, it might be really great if you need more structure to your crop tops. This is a really great one to hold everything in place. It's not going to have a lot of give. So that's an option there. But I hope you enjoyed this. It was time for me to go through some of these options, especially if you have been eyeing my crop tops but weren't sure what yarn to use. You can try multiple strands of 4-weight cotton. I do feel like, again, those are not going to have as much give, so you might want to choose some yarn that's got a different blend to it. So maybe some cotton and some nylon, or cotton and polyester, or cotton and something else, you know, just to kind of break that cotton up so that it's not so stiff. But I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button on the video, subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any tips, tricks, or yarn reviews or things like this. And until next time, happy hooking!